is what's the next thing I need to learn? And you always have to humble yourself. You become a baby again. You're like, you step into a room with multimillionaires. You feel like you're doing good. You hit 100,000, 200,000. You even get to 500,000. And you're like, I'm doing great. And you buck one guy that's doing 50 million, 100 million. And they're talking about completely different things. And you're just like a baby again. You have to now get to that tier. And again, those guys will tell you, they'll step into rooms with billionaires and they feel like babies. And you're like, you're the grown up to me, but now you feel like you're a baby. There's always another level to this. So it's exciting to know that there's something to work towards.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I'm the founder of E4X, Empowered for X, as well as the host of BizGrams. And on this show, we are bringing to you live entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things in the community, and an opportunity for them to share how they got started and to talk about some things that they're doing in the community to make sure that, you know, we're all succeeding and growing together. Today, I am super excited because I have the privilege of having on this show today one of my business partner, one of my best friends, and a super awesome person who has been an inspiration to me. I've been talking about doing BizGrams for a very long time, and this man, Ryan Knight, has gone and made me post it, like Instagram post, Chris-Beth, do it. So a huge thank you to you, Ryan, for being such an encouragement to myself and my team, and you're part of the team, so I'm thankful for you being here.
Happy to be here. Everybody needs a kick in the pants every so often. The world needs to know about Chris-Beth Cowie. We shall help spread the gospel.
I am humbled. And you know, Ryan, I would say you have been an inspiration to me and my entrepreneurial journey. I think we met back in 2014 with the work that was happening with the Business Entrepreneurship Center in Brampton. And really seeing the work that you were doing with your company and your passion. Oh my goodness, I was blown away. I'm like, I just need to know that guy. And so many years later, we are honestly doing amazing things together, you know, with both of our companies and organizations that we've started together. And I am just thankful for you. So Ryan, tell us, how did you get started on your entrepreneurial journey?
So the entrepreneurship journey started technically when I was a pizza delivery driver, because you're not employed, you're a subcontractor. And even when you're doing courier as well, it's like, so that was the first taste of like doing for self, but I never really jumped into entrepreneurship until, you know, I was I had gotten a job. I was a purchasing agent at a company that does assistive technology for special needs individuals, and then got laid off. And it was like 2 weeks before my wedding, and it was a real gut check to say, hey, no matter how well you think you're doing at a company, there comes a time when you can become expendable, and it might as well be your own company. And my father had always kind of planted the seed that, hey, to control your own destiny, to become rich, to really have ownership, you need to start your own business. So I felt like, hey, this is a perfect time to dive in. Had the wonderful support of my wife to allow me to, one, go back to school and finish my accounting diploma, which in turn helped me. And I feel like it was because I launched Detailing Nights that it helped me actually get my diploma, because I had been working on a 3-year diploma over 10 years. So when we was able to start the business and say, hey, I need to learn how to run a company, that was the real push, my kick in the pants to complete and actually pay attention in class. So that was the genesis of DK. I found my brother, he loved to clean cars. And since I was going to school for accounting, I said, hey, I can do the business side of it. I can handle like getting you appointments. And, so he was able to quit his job as a detailer and work full time in our company. And then eventually it continued to grow. And here we are 11 years later, about to expand across Canada and into the US with our licensing and our youth program, using detailing nights to teach youth how to start their own companies. And we work with youth coming out of detention, in conflict with the law. Really, there's no barrier to entrepreneurship. And that's my key learning when starting my own business is there really is no excuse. So when you're talking about BizGrams, when I'm talking about expanding, we always get anxiety and procrastinate when there really is no need to. I'm looking at your own stats on your Facebook page and it's like blown up after you started doing these BizGrams and you bring on staff and you're growing. And that is the trajectory that all of our business owners should have. And now Empowered for X has that ecosystem to plug them into. So I'm super excited to be part of that.
Hey, Ryan, thank you so much. And, as you're talking about DK and the work that you're doing, I know that this concept of being a social enterprise is at the core, and doing business for good is at the core of what you do. Could you talk to us a little bit more about what a social enterprise is and how does that look in your business that you're running? Okay.
Yeah, and I know I always get the question, like when I first started the business, was it about this social cause and doing a lot of work? No, it was about making money. And I was laid off and I knew I had to make $100 a day in order to sustain the house. And so I'd go knocking on doors every single day to earn that until I made that money and would be able to come home. But now, as it started to grow and you get to a position where, okay, you're going to start expanding and bringing on staff, and you realize that you can do a lot more with your company. And I remember the Mars Discovery District, when I was presenting to them about my company, and then they're like, oh, you would actually fit in the social enterprise division. And have you heard of B Corp? And you could apply and do the assessment and then be certified as a B Corporation. I had no idea about those things. I just knew when we wanted to grow our company, we didn't just want regular employees. We wanted to teach actual ownership, and you can use our company as that launching pad. You can come in, learn entrepreneurship, and then go off and start your own business. And then the barrier to entry was so low that we could work with youth that didn't think they could start a business. And we can show them, hey, my father-in-law, I borrowed $250 from him, and he used to sell the waterless cleaning products that we use. And so he showed me, he's like, hey, use these products and you can start this business. And now we do the exact same thing. We tell the youth, here's your backpack, here's your supplies. We're going to teach you how to talk to a client, how to be professional, how to do presentations about what you're selling, and then actually deliver the work. So all that to say, like, social enterprise, I feel, is taking your business and doing something extra with it. It doesn't have to be all about the bottom line and employing as many people as you can at minimum wage, and they have to follow all your directions. You could actually have great impact in the community using your company as that tool.
Hey, that is so powerful. And I know I'm humble because I was part of some of the early genesis of the youth entrepreneurship training program that you had. And it is amazing to work with youth that, sometimes may have challenge, finding employment or have challenges getting employment in terms of, their criminal or their record that they may have. And as you said, entrepreneurship removes barrier for people to get started, to change their life. And we saw, you'd come in, feeling demotivated, lacking confidence, and really using your business as that vehicle and tool to transform lives. The guys, you remember the guys were so...
Oh man, I always remember, because when they first came in that first day we were doing the orientation, all heads were down. Everybody was just like, okay, I'm here. Skills for Change told me about this thing. Let me see what it's about. And then when we went to BNI, to the networking event, all heads were up. all of them got up and talked about themselves and said, hey, my name is X. I'm doing this with Detailing Nights. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it now. The transformation that entrepreneurship can do to you, it really makes you battle-tested for the world. And just that from head down to head up was a success for me. No matter what amount of money they made in that summer, them being able to shift to be confident, they go door to door and talk to people, they get a yes, they get a no, they go to the, it's awesome. I just love being able to introduce entrepreneurship to people that have the potential and didn't realize they do.
Yes, no, and that for myself, it is about that journey. And, one of the things people oftentimes say, oh, you're doing it. It looks easy, and entrepreneurship is not an easy journey, but I would definitely say it is fulfilling. And Ryan, you talked about the nervousness, the procrastination, sometimes dealing with that doubt, and then really pushing yourself, having that courage to step outside of your comfort zone, step outside of that fear and saying, yes, I will go forward. And to see it happen in the lives of those youth, in our lives on a daily basis, and the people that we work with, it is so powerful. And so if you're out there and you're considering entrepreneurship, connect with someone like Ryan or myself, and we can talk to you about, starting a business, growing that business. Here at ImpoweredFX, we have a business accelerator supporting entrepreneurs to pivot and get investment and procurement ready. So we're really excited about the work that we're doing here to support people on that entrepreneurial journey. And Ryan, one of the things, talking about that challenge or risk that one may encounter on their entrepreneurial journey, can you share with us any challenges that you face and how you overcome them as you were building DK?
And you mentioned it, that there's always something to learn. And one of our mentors, Jeff Whitlock, he's like who we look up to and say, hey, he's doing such great work. And he comes in to do a presentation for us and is like, I know nothing. I am still learning. And we're like, if he's still learning, then what are we? Like, we definitely are still learning. You could never claim to know everything about entrepreneurship. And that's the learning that I've gone through. And when I first had my first mentor that opened my eyes, and he sat down with me and said, oh, so you're running this business, you're buying these supplies. Have you talked to the president of the manufacturer? I'm like, the president of the manufacturer? That's a bit, I think I'm overstepping there. He's like, no. And he said, what's the number? He called the company. Somehow the president was available and they had a conversation. And then over time, we negotiated like amazing rates for the supplies that we were getting, all because of having that conversation. So it really opened my eyes to, hey, I'm not just a detailer. I am a business owner. And I'm the president of my own company. And if you're interacting with another company, you're on that same level playing field. But again, there's always new things to learn. So you get to a point where now you have to hire staff. That's like, that'll give you anxiety. It's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Figure it out. And I was listening to a presentation yesterday where a VC was talking about having to just learn what you need to do as an entrepreneur. You don't know how to hire? Watch some YouTube videos, figure it out. Make a job description, put it out there. You don't know how to sell? Figure it out. Watch some YouTube videos, get out there and learn it. Anything that you don't know how to do, acknowledge it at that moment and then go figure it out. There's no time to sit back and be like, well, I can't move forward because I don't know how to do paid ads. Like, that does not work. As an entrepreneur, we have to figure it out. And don't call yourself an entrepreneur if something can come in front of you and stop you from moving forward. That to me, like, hey, you're an employee. When you stop, you call your boss and ask them, oh, what do I do? And you don't do any work until somebody lays it out for you, the step-by-step process. Entrepreneurs, we are the ones creating that process. We wake up and are coaching our staff to say, like, hey, this is the way to do it, or we're going to figure it out together. So that shift between being told what to do and creating the thing to do is what I feel like a business owner does, and everything that you have to learn. And that's the challenges I'm always going through is what's the next thing I need to learn? And you always have to humble yourself. You become a baby again. You're like, you step into a room with multimillionaires. You feel like you're doing good. You hit 100,000, 200,000. You even get to 500,000. And you're like, I'm doing great. And you buck one guy that's doing 50 million, 100 million. And they're talking about completely different things. And you're just like a baby again. You have to now get to that tier. And again, those guys will tell you they'll step into rooms with billionaires and they feel like babies. And you're like, you're the grown up to me, but now you feel like you're a baby. There's always another level to this. So it's exciting to know that there's something to work towards. I feel like entrepreneurship gives you that never ending journey. It's a marathon. It's an infinity game. We talk about legacy building and having this machine that you've built that you can now leave to your children. And that's one thing in the Black community, that we're too much sole proprietorships. You can't leave a sole proprietor to your children. So we have to think about what is the machine that we can leave that will last forever. I mean, you build it to last, right? And get that book, Built to Last. Actually, what was the book? No, Good to Great. Both of them are good, but Good to Great is the one that we read together.
Yes, yeah. So the thing about Ryan and I, and you talked about the book as you're talking, I was like, yeah, say it, built to last, good to great. When we first became business partners, we had book challenges. We were listening books together and really talking about how can we implement this. So not just listening, but taking action. And I think, over the years, we have not read as many books together, but I feel inspired to say, let's get back in that game, man. And just, we're pushing each other as we're going forward. So I appreciate you sharing that insight. I like to think about entrepreneurs oftentimes like an ant. You think of an ant's going on the journey to wherever. We don't really know. They're going for that leaf, they're going for that branch, whatever ants do. But if you put a stone in front of the ant's journey, the ant doesn't turn back and go somewhere else. The ant goes around it, try to go over it. It go under and keep going to wherever it's going, right? So, as entrepreneurs, when we face challenges, honestly, you have to make up that determination. And it is not easy. But knowing that you could be in community with people like Ryan, myself, and mentors. I think you shout out mentors several times on this call today. And yes, in my own journey, when I was kind of hesitant, do I do this? Don't I do this? One of my mentors, Camilla Bignell, and I love this woman so much. She said, Chris-Beth, you can speak well. You have a message that you want to share with the world. Go and do it. And I was like, but I don't think I'm good enough. And she's like, what are you talking about? And so she gave me the analogy of the alphabet. So A to Z. And she said, you think about it. So based on your understanding about leadership, personal development, when I was starting my business back in 2013, 2014, we're having this conversation. She's like, what value could you bring? Where do you see a value? And I was like, maybe like a C. And she's like, I don't even think you're a C. You're higher up. And so to have somebody look at you and tell you, you have more value that you're seeing in yourself, that inspires you to want to go forward. So she's like, okay, we'll go with your C analogy. So look back, who's behind you? A and B. You can help these people. Right. And so that really inspired me to say, listen, I know I can add value to people's life. I know I could, words are such powerful things that you could inspire and motivate. And at that time, I was really looking at building out my leadership business and going to schools and nonprofits talking about leadership, team building, communication. And for me, it was, okay, I can go and help those people. And then as I'm helping them, I'm progressing along the ladder, helping other people to come up on that ladder. So it was so powerful. And so, Ryan, I think what you shared definitely resonates with me deeply. So another question that I have for you, Ryan, in terms of, your work that you've done with DK, and I know ACBN is definitely one of your passions as well. I'm hoping you could just talk to us a little bit about why ACBN was created and what it is currently doing.
Yeah, so the Afro Caribbean Business Network, and really it came to be based on needs that I was seeing in my own business. Youth were graduating our program, and they didn't really have a Black-focused business organization to plug into, especially in Peel. I live in Brampton. We live in Brampton, and so and also with my own company, I was looking to franchise it and expand it. And you would go to other Black-focused business support organizations, and it wasn't in their mandate to scale companies. So we figured, hey, we brought 7 entrepreneurs together. Said, could we create an entity that would sit down with a business owner, figure out where they're at, and then help them create that plan to scale their company. And then once they do scale it, think about legacy building. Like, how do you leave that to your children? How do you, even to the community as a whole? And that's where it's so important that we have an ecosystem that we can plug a person into. And that's where Empowered for X is so important, because now anybody at whatever stage of business they're in, you can point there and say, hey, go there if you need help. So entrepreneurs in the African and Caribbean community, when they're thinking of starting a business or they're stuck and they're plateaued in their business, somebody can point them to ACBN to say, hey, go here. They have funding programs. We just launched our microloan program. We have our marketing assistants. We're launching our own marketing agency. So things to help your business get to that next level, we now have those in-house. And we're actually working on a mentorship program to really structure how you engage with a mentor. Because right now it's really informal, but I feel like a formalized process that'll keep you really accountable and give you multiple mentors. Like, just having 1 or 2 is great, but we're hoping to get you at least 5 to say, hey, you have a team of advisors around you that is going to make sure they want to see you win, because, hey, it's in their best interest to be able to point to a mentee to say, yo, when that guy needed help, I was there for them. It becomes a great story. So building more of these success stories is the real vision and mission of ACBN. And we do it through info sessions, working groups, and our legacy symposium that's happening February 26th and 27th. So if you are running a business or thinking of running a business, we have a place for you to learn about all these different tools and tricks and tips from local experts that are going to be speaking, and our Black marketplace. So looking forward to that too.
That's awesome. Is there a competition? If I can recall, you have a competition that's open as well, people can participate in?
Active right now, yeah. We're actually going to announce, so we're doing $1,000 giveaway plus marketing support and some other goodies. Empowered for X is giving some consultation, and we have business owners that like do printing. They're going to give away prizes. So you can join right now. I don't know, I'll send you the link so you can put it somewhere in here. But yeah, sign up. I mean, the worst case, you get introduced to ACBN. We're going to figure out how to help you anyway. And you have a chance to win $1,000 cash and additional supports for your business. So it's the ACBN SUSU $1,000 grant competition. And if you don't know what a SUSU is, you might know it better as a partner, but it's a program where you put in a certain amount of money over time, and every week somebody gets the pot. So we do a SUSU of $100 a week, and then every week there's a $1,000 draw. And when ACBN gets our draw, we grant it out to the business community. So hopefully you join. Don't miss it. I always say there's grants and funding and all these different opportunities out there. Don't miss the money just because you didn't apply. And that's what we do with Empowered for X. Grants that are out there, we teach you about it, help you write it, get it across the finish line. And then, hey, if it's successful, boom, you have more money. If it's not successful, now you've learned what to make it better. So don't ever miss the money.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. And yes, the Legacy Symposium is February 26th and 27th, as well as the employment opportunities on the 26th and the virtual market that's taking place on the 27th. Ryan, I want to just say thank you so much for being here with us today. But before you leave, I have 2 final questions. What is a tip or advice for an entrepreneur that, is starting out or on their journey? What is something that you'd like to share with entrepreneurs?
Oh, man. I feel like the tip I usually give just evolves over time. Initially, I always say delegate, get things that you don't like to do off your plate. But now, hold on, sorry, my eye is like itching. So delegation is evolved into building your team. So get good at building a solid team around you and really focus on what you're really good at, and then build team members around you to execute the other things that need to get done, but will take you away from your superpower. I heard somebody call that focus on your superpower, and I really like that. And then, yeah, so build your team.
Awesome. And then the last question is, what is a phonetical thing that you do to demonstrate self-care and love for yourself? So phonetical, I think you've been around me long enough to understand fun and epic, great or small adventures or moments that's experienced. So what is something that you do to express self-love?
I love snuggling with the wife and watching a movie. But the fun epical thing is the battles with my children, Jasmine and Christian, when dad turns into the big beast and they try to take me down, with Christian and his slew of superpowers and Jasmine creating strategy and battle plans on how to take dad down. Always love becoming the what would you call the villain and attacking the town, and they come to save the town. So awesome. I love doing that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I want to just say thank you so much for being here with us today, and folks for looking at us and joining us here. It was a pleasure connecting with you. Feel free to reach out. All of the details that Ryan shared today will be in the comments below and the caption. So feel free to stay in tune, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Thank you. Later.